And everyone, I'm Richard Weil, and I'm the principal and CEO of National Restaurant Consultants. And once again, we're joined in today by the wonderful Mr. Brian Devine, president of Top Line Management and CafeFuel. He's been our technical director, everything in between. And today we're really pleased to welcome back Sandy Clark, our senior consultant here in Denver, Colorado.
Hello.
Who is a supply chain expert as well as a executive manager with tremendous amount of experience in managing groups, people, and businesses. So Sandy, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
So today we're going to circle back to an update on supply chain. And Sandy, it's been a couple of weeks since we talked about the difficulties of further processed foods and what distributors are facing. So I'd like you to please follow up with an update, what some of the things are out there as far as some of the various commodities and value-added products. So Sandy, please take it away.
Sure. So things have been pretty gloomy when I've talked in the past, but it is starting to look up. The supply is starting to become more steady, and you're going to start seeing some price reductions. So unlike things like toilet paper and hand sanitizer, people can only stock up so far on protein because it's expensive and perishable. So the markets are starting to be able to recover. So first, let's talk about poultry. It's only 6 to 8 weeks from the egg being hatched to the the chicken being ready to go to the processor. And so we're seeing good, strong supply now in chicken. And the chicken plants are not as massive as the beef and pork plants. So they have not had as big an impact from the COVID illness.
Okay.
We need to remember that this market is very resilient. In 2015, when we had the Asian flu, 31.5 chickens were exterminated. So we've talked about 1 million here and 1 million there, but we're really starting to be in good shape, and you will see probably as soon as next week, prices dramatically coming down on chicken and eggs. So the next is pork, and believe it or not, a sow has 2 litters a year, 7 to 12 piglets, and those piglets are only about 6 months away from going to market. So that's another market that can recover quickly. The plants are back up and open, and while they have not as much production coming out, the supply required is also smaller. So you'll see a lot of recovery there in that market. One of the markets that's still tough is beef. It's more than 2 years for cattle to come from being born to being harvested. And so when there are disruptions in that beef market, it really causes some extreme situations in the meantime. But you'll start seeing pricing coming down somewhat. We are hearing that because of the disruption, it will be difficult to get choice and prime product as we head into winter. So we're once again looking at disruption, hard to get still in further processed, but we'll see that relax as well. The cheese market has been a roller coaster. So in April, the CME, which is the market that they use to derive food service cheese pricing, was $1.05 a pound. Last week, it closed at $2.54 a pound. So this is driven a lot by supply and demand, 5 big factors. One is the massive amounts of milk that were dumped in March and April. Another is stronger than expected retail demand as we all shopped for home and were cooking with cheese. Food service demand remained strong. The pizza business was actually, in many cases, positively impacted by the COVID situation because most pizzerias already had a robust to-go and takeout business. The government stepped in and had what they called the food box program. And that's where when the milk was being dumped, they stepped in and started buying milk and cheese. And so that also impacted driving the prices back up. And now we're in the time of year where there's heavy demand for cream for ice cream that's competing with the cheese. So all forecasts are that our high CME will radically cut our export business, and that will drive prices back down. But there is really no forecast for when that could happen, but it could happen very dramatically. So some big unknowns. What are the COVID regulations going to be driving your restaurant business? How open will the American public be to returning to your restaurants? And then are we going to have sports that will drive the usual hamburgers, chicken wings, all that business that we do when we have sports? So we know restaurateurs are very used to great unknowns and operating past it. And I know that we'll continue to get through this.
That was an awesome report and a great update. And Brian, I think it's a good pivot there. Thank you, Sandy. That's tremendous. And please hang on there with us for a minute. And then Brian, you want to pivot a couple of thoughts there?
Yeah, absolutely. So based on all of this that we're learning here from Sandy and what you're experiencing right now, I'm sure, if you find yourself in a position where you don't have something, right, like you aren't able to get a certain item that everyone wants on your menu or that you are known for, let people know. Because I know there's a school of thought out there that if they come in and you don't have it, at least they came in and you can give them something else. The reality is there's nothing worse than an upset customer that has a phone. And we all have a phone, which means we're going to take a picture of what we didn't want and write something nasty about it on every place that they can. And if you want them to write something good, a positive review, you're going to have to work hard to get it. They're not just going to do it. But when they're upset, they will. So it is better to be upfront, to let people know that you don't have it and let people know what you do have and how great it is. So it now means that you have to do a better job of selling what you do have, but being clear about what you might not have, or if you don't know when you might have it, let people know what you're doing to try to get it, to work on it, but what you have otherwise. And by letting people know, I don't mean that when they come and sit down. I mean through your social media, on your website, through video, and again, video impacts people. So if you could show what you do have, and then let people know, hey, we don't have these items, we're working on it, but we'd love to see you. That will be better for you in the long run. So that's what I wanted to cover today. Richard, Sandy, any questions?
Well, the power of video is tremendous. We know that this is our NRC Helpful Moment number 65.
Yes.
And we continue to receive outstanding feedback from restaurateurs and the like across the country and even up into Canada, because we're hoping that we're providing information that will help you in your business to be better and more efficient. And as we come back, we want everybody who's following these videos to be successful as they can be. So that's all we have for today. So Sandy, Clark, thank you again.
Thank
Brian,
you.
Brian, Holly. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.